Evening all, Kieran here, back with another podcast off the back of what was a brilliant week last week at Royal Ascot, back in putting up 11 winners all told over the week after starting the week pretty badly. On the Tuesday, couldn't buy a win on the Tuesday, only had one placed, but then we had three winners, 3 winners, 2 winners, a winner, and then 5 winners on Saturday. Thanks for all the support and the messages I got after Saturday. It was very much appreciated. I know we can follow up this week with a few more winners at York and Newcastle. So Northumberland Plate is the main race of the weekend, and we'll start up at Newcastle with the 5 races that I'm going to cover there. The first race being the Jennings Bet handicap at 140 over 6 furlongs, where Durham Castle is currently favourite at 4-1 for Simon Crisford with Harry Davis in the saddle. A decent winner of a Class 3 event at Windsor last time out. Comes here with plenty of claims for sure, but this is now up in class into a Class 2 for the first time. Isn't exposed, but I think he's worth taking on at the top of the market. And the one I'm going to take him on with is 5,000 to 1 of Tim Easterby's, and David Allen will be in the saddle. And he's been a bit out of form this season since moving stables from the Andrew Bolin stable, but he has had decent runs at Newcastle in the past, including finishing a decent 6th in the Clippers Chase Stakes over the course and distance last season. Obviously, this is now a handicap, and that being a graded race, or group race, shall I say. So he comes here with decent claims. Obviously, he needs to get back to a decent level of form, but best price 12-1. I think he could be an each-way player in here for sure. He's now also back below his last winning mark, so potentially, if he runs a decent race, he could potentially hit the frame at an each-way price of 12-1. We then move on to the Chip Chase Stakes itself at 210 over 6 furlongs, where Kinda Blue is favourite at 11-8 for James Fanshawe and James Doyle. Won at the back end of last season at Ascot on Champions Day very impressively. Was very disappointing on first start this season at Shanty, where he basically fell out of the stalls and was never put in the race. James Doyle just sat at the back of the field and basically just coasted home really, and I would be not fancying taking my chances on a horse that's done that for last time out at 11-8. This is also only going to be his second start on the all-weather as well, so you're not 100% sure how he's going to take to the surface as well. The one I fancy each way, and fancying quite a lot strongly actually, is Spy Catcher of Carl Burks, and Sam James will be in the saddle. Best price 7-1. He's been 5th and 2nd in these last 2 renewals of this race, only went down a neck 2 years ago when finishing 2nd. He won well at Doncaster last time out, and he just didn't stay the 7 furlongs in the John O'Gaunt Haydock the last time out. Sorry, Doncaster was the first start of the season. Didn't stay the 7 furlongs in the John O'Gaunt, came there travelling nicely when push came to shove, just didn't stay. Back to 6 furlongs, back on the all-weather, where he's, like I said, he's finished 2nd and 5th in this race the last 2 years. I think he's got a good each-way claims at 7-1. And we move on to the Northumberland Vase for the consolation race for the Northumberland Plate at 240, where God's End is favourite at 5-1 for Morris and Prescott. Obviously, he has won 4 of his last 5 starts, and has looked very impressive doing it as well. Last one notably coming at Nottingham. I think the standard some out Prescott horses, as soon as they go up into handicaps, they are very effective. But I'm going to take him on here, and it's with a horse called Tri-Fan of Harry Charlton's, with James Doyle again in the saddle. I actually quite fancied this horse if he would have got in the Northumberland Plate off the back of his okay form that he's got. He was 2nd, he won well at Salisbury last time, and he's also got a decent course record here as well. He's finished 3rd, he's won at the track and been 2nd last time, beating a neck at Newcastle. A very good, decent course record. And I think for Harry Charlton, who his dad has trained 2 Northumberland Plate winners in Withhold and can't remember the name of the other one off the top of my head right now. I know Withhold won for him in the Tony Bloom colours, but I can't remember the other one now. But he's got a decent record. I think this boy was quite far down the order in regards to getting in the plate, but I think he has a big chance of taking the consolation race. Currently best price 6-1 and could be a decent each way play in the race. We then move on to the big race of itself, the Northumberland Plate. Now those that are part of my Telegram group will know that I've already put up one anti-post in this at 25-1, and it is Asgard's captain of Dylan Cunya's with Sean Levy in the saddle. Won really nicely up at Epsom 2 starts ago, and in the interview afterwards, Dylan said that this was going to be the plan. He was going to come here after running on Derby Day. Northumberland Plate was the next plan. He finished 4th on Derby Day after that run. He finished 4th on Derby Day when the ground went against him. Obviously, it rained all afternoon and the ground went against him. And he did well to finish 4th, to be honest. Coming back here, coming to Newcastle, where he's got a decent record. He's won here in the past over a shorter trip than this. So that is the only current concern, is will he get the full trip? They obviously seem to think he will. They have been mentioned that they're going to take him novice hurdling after this. So potentially he could be well overpriced. And currently, I believe he's about 18-20 in the market, but I'm on at 25-1 anti-post for this race. So hopefully he can run a decent race here. Then we move on to the 345, the last race I'm going to touch on at Newcastle, which is the Potemps Network Handicap, where Rare Change is Ray Charge, is 3-1 favourite. Won 3 of his last 4 starts, with the latest one being up at Pontefract, where he stayed on very nicely to win there. But I'm going to take him on. I'm going to take a bit of a swing at one here at 28-1, and that's Kingdom Come for Clive Cox and Safi Osborne being the saddle. 4th at the track on Good Friday, and then he's not really fired since, to be honest. But all his decent form seems to be on the all-weather and seems to come here at Newcastle. I think dropping back into a big handicap on the all-weather could potentially give this horse a decent squeak, and I think 28-1 he could outrun his odds in this handicap. So that's Kingdom Come. And then we move over to York. Quick touch on the 3 races over at York. It'd be short and sweet, really, because there's 2 quite obvious short price favourites that should go in, to be honest. The first race, the York Dubai Mile Handicap, where Archivist of William Haggis and Tom Marquand on the side is currently best price 5-4 favourite. He was really impressive to me when he won at Leicester last time out. He looked beat 2 furlongs out and then found. I just think the step up in trip is going to be certainly up his bag. And 5-4 here, they had plans of taking to Royal Ascot. He didn't quite get in at Royal Ascot. They've come here now, and I think he should oblige at 5-4. He's a decent bet, to be honest, at the moment, if you're going to get odds against on this horse. He's been very well touted by the stable, and I think he should go in. The one, if I was going to put one up against him, would be Barley at 14-1, again for the Easterby Yards, Jason Hart in the saddle. He's got a decent track record around York. He's finished 2nd and 3rd in his last 2 visits to the track. So potentially he could be the each-way angler in the race, but I think Archivist should take all the beating. And then we move on to the 225, the Criterion Stakes over 7 furlongs, where Lake Forest is favourite 13-8 for Marquand and Haggis again. Now everybody knows that I put him up for the Queen Anne anti-post. I thought stepping up to the mile was going to suit him down to the ground. He didn't run his race that day, he only finished in 5th. Again staying on, but this is now dropping class. And I just think he's got an absolute outstanding chance of winning this, to be honest. It's very, very weak field here. Foreman, I'm not a massive fan of Foreman at all. And I think Lake Forest will take all the beating here. And in fact, you're getting 13-8 about him currently. I think is a massive price. I won't be backing him just yet. The one that potentially could run a decent race and take him on is Prague at the top of the betting for Dylan Cunha. But he is on seasonal debut, so not sure whether he's going to be fully tuned up for the race. And also he's got to give £5 away to Lake Forest as well. So it will be Lake Forest would be the selection but more selections will be finalised on Saturday morning. And then for the final race we're going to touch on is the 3 o'clock, the Dubai Dash Handicap over 5 furlongs, where Jem Jungle is favourite at 7-2 for John Quinn and Jason Hart after winning the Epsom Dash on Derby Day very well. The horse I'm going to take him on with is 7 Questions at a big price of 25-1 for Robert Cowell, and it is Johanny Toto in the saddle. Hasn't really done a lot this season, finished 7th from both his starts, firstly at Newmarket, and then he went to Haydock and was 7th there as well. But now dropping back down to Handicap Company. He hasn't been to Handicap Company for a while. He ran at Goodwood, where he ran no race at all at Goodwood, finished last. But potentially now he's well handicapped, coming back into Handicap Company. I think at 25-1 he could potentially outrun his odds at that price. He's not been running too badly. Like I said, the 2 7ths in group races isn't too bad. I think he could run a big race and outrun his odds of 25-1. So that is all the races. The best bets for currently as it stands would be in the 210 would be Spycatcher. I think he's an each way steal at 7-1. I think, like I said, I wouldn't trust the favourite at 11-8 after his disappointment. And Spycatcher obviously has finished 5th and 2nd in the race the last 2 years. Obviously, we've already put up Asgard's captain in the Northumberland Plate at 25-1. And then the 2 Haggis horses at York, Archivist and Lake Forest, they will be strong fancies for me. But all my selection will be put up at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. Thanks again for listening, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the support that I've had over the last week. It's been very, very appreciative. I hope you all enjoy the video and we have plenty of winners over the weekend. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and if you could drop your NAP selection for the 7 races for yourself in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks again, guys, and happy punting.